right, you don't see it too often. There's Cooter in the growler right there, backing her out. Making some room for my Jeep. This morning's project, oil filter cooler assembly. We bought the Dorman upgrade with the full aluminum body, and we're gonna get her installed today. Probably throw some new plugs in and coil packs as well, since we're breaking it down. All right, Recon 3. Second trip to Cooter's garage. First one, we took the hard top off to get the soft top out. Today we're gonna check out the undercarriage really good. I'm seeing some motor oil around the transmission and the gas tank, which 99.9% of the time it equals oil filter cooler assembly. So we're gonna get in here with the flashlight and check things out good. There's the bell housing right there. So I'll put my hand up in there, but to me the oil looks like it's up high like that, see? Let me zoom in there. Way up in there, see the oil up high, so it tends to follow the bell housing and the transmission down. You can see the bolts of the transmission have motor oil. Then it comes down this way, look at right here on the crossover. Little armor piece that they install. See all the oil collecting right here? Motor oil. Okay, so you're driving, it flows this way, all oil in the gas tank. Some of it hits the spinning drive shaft, and basically it gets slung all over the place. Yeah, this is all motor oil right there. Look at the, see now there's a lot of it right here on the tranny cross member. So clearly it's getting worse. So I think it's better that we're jumping on this thing now. And see the oil pan is nice and dry. Well, this is what to look for. So it's coming down on the driver's side of the transmission and on the passenger side of the transmission. And then just getting slung all over the place. All right. I have new shocks. These are the Rubicon shocks. These will be coming out. I don't know if they're coming out today, but I have them. Just a little look at the Recon Dana 44s. You can see they got the beefy differential cover. And we know that the axle tubes are 5/16 thick instead of a 1/4 inch. Evap canister, exhaust. Rear drive shaft. Transfer case, skid, crossover pipe, Y pipe. Front drive shaft, pinion flange is dry, front shocks will be replaced. Dana 44 Recon front axle, huge C's, much larger C than the standard Dana 44. New steering stabilizer. Okay, same old, same old. I mean, there's a lot of videos on this, but hey, this is my experience. So we undid the throttle body, the 10mm bolts for the air intake. I undid the cover for the air filter, and then there's the air temperature switch right down there that I'll be unplugging right there. And then we'll remove this piece. Disconnected the battery. Very nice. We'll just pull all this stuff right out of here. I want to have some room. Air cleaner. The box just says 3 grommets. I had this out not long ago, so I'll just pull straight up. Okay, we got an electrical connector right here with a lock. I'll be taking this off and this off, pulling that Christmas tree out of that bracket right there. I'm gonna take, that might be 10 mil right there. Take this bracket off for this harness. The hoses, this is one of your breather hoses right here. Got another hose right here that went into the air cleaner. This hose needs to come off right here. All of these hoses. So we'll just take them off and gently move them out of the way. There's two 10mm nuts on those studs. You can see I just took one off. I have one more. I pulled that Christmas tree out, this electrical connector. I slid this. You can see there's a little clip here. It just basically slid off of that stud. And then I've got that electrical connector that needs to unplug underneath the throttle body. That hose is off, that hose is off. Self-explanatory where they go. Okay, there were two more 10mm nuts right there that I took off. Struggling a little bit with this one plug. This came off, I got the tit out.
Okay.
Mike just unplugged that big ass electrical connector right there.
I believe that stays with the...
We're still just doing brackets and things and hoses.
So this check, I think at a 10mm, there's two nuts for
to lift that off.
Although I've done them this way fine in the past. We just kind of, it's past the intake.
Okay.
So we just flex it with enough hands. We just move it out of the way a little.
Yeah.
What's that?
Okay, so I'm taking this whole bracket assembly off. So there's two more 10mm bolts that I'm working on right there. You can see I already got the nuts off of there, and then I disconnected all the Christmas trees for the electrical harness off of that bracket around the throttle body. Okay, there's a look at one of the 10mm head bolts. You can see there's one more to the left I got to get out for that bracket. Okay, so here's a look at the bracket. It went just like this underneath the throttle body. So those two bolts right there went through those two holes, and on this side there were studs with two nuts, and all the other holes are basically holes where the various electrical components plug in with the Christmas trees. Okay, so I'm on the driver's side. There's this bracket right there. I'm shining the light on it. What I'm trying to do, the nuts are off of it, but I just need enough wiggle room so that the intake can come up and out of those two holes. And I may have it right there. So a couple stud, they're like bolts with nuts on them, and they're extremely difficult to get at, but I do have both of them loose. So hopefully there's enough wiggle room when the time comes. Probably getting ready to start undoing some of these upper intake bolts. Okay guys, pay attention to these. These are the actual bolts down in that bracket right there. So Mike reminded me that the intake needs to go driver to get it out. So he says, let's take them off. So the easiest way was to use this long extension through the wheel well by the shock tower right there. Mike was able to just basically get right in there and unthread it.
Yeah.
Will suck putting them back together, but they're out.
Reach down in there and
not
get
bad.
Started.
Not bad at all. So we'll put those on the magnet strip. We're gonna do a little plug for that magnet strip. You guys got to see this thing, man. Snap-on, I think.
Might be.
Massive magnetic piece of material here. It's just unbelievable. So we put all our parts on this thing right here.
Yeah,
it is Snap-on.
Probably haven't given me another one.
But pretty impressive.
Use that
all right, so we're making some headway here in what needs to be removed to remove the upper. So, Mike, do you recall what that is? 8?
We did 8.
All right, so we're gonna start undoing some of the bolts on the upper intake. There's definitely 3 right across the top right here. There was also an insulator that curved around the back, a big piece of foam padding with 2 Christmas trees. Pried those Christmas trees out and removed that as well. And look, we may be taking apart more than we need to. I mean, sometimes, I guess there's probably a lot of different ways you can do this, but we're just trying to make it easy with the most access. Obviously the hood, put it up against the roof line, it just gives you a lot more room. And the fact that this is a stock Jeep with nothing but a Rubicon lift, it only has basically a 1/2-inch lift, so it's relatively easy to work on the motor and get up in here. $8 mil, Mike said, on these plenum bolts.
Even I put the torque right on the manifold for you, 7 to 9 Newton meters.
Newton meters, yeah. I got the stuff for the inch pounds, etc. And I got the bolt pattern. There's an actual pattern, as you might recall, for how you tighten these. You kind of just go like hand tight on all of them, and then there's an actual numbered arrangement on how Jeep wants to see you secure this thing. What do you got? One more hidden way back there, or we got it? Let me give you. Here we go, boys. That right there is a mouse nest. I'm sure the mouse has long since been gone, but if you notice the hood insulation, we couldn't figure out. We're like, wow, something really clawed a perfect square on that thing. He really followed the outline of the intake. So we're going to get a shop vac and get that out of there, and then we'll inspect. And meanwhile, we'll get some rags too on top of those openings. That's why I poison mice year-round in my yard. It's a non-stop war. Nice job. There we go. There's a look at the upper intake. So it was 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Looks like 7. 7 bolts. If we look at this thing, it's got some good weight to it. We'll just keep her sitting right there, and we'll start looking at the next phase, which is undo all the coil packs. We have new coil packs, and I have new plugs. What are you doing, injectors right now or both? So obviously,
just as line.
yeah.
Yeah, so you're doing coil packs?
I have them. I'm going to just verify that I have them with me. Seems like the time to do it. Let me just see what I have.
Now I do at least the spark plugs.
Yeah.
If you're not on a coil pack problem.
Okay, see that line right there? We chose to just pull it off the back of the valve cover, on the driver's side valve cover. It comes around like this. It goes through that little clamp, and then we're just going to bungee the other stuff up out of the way. We've got coil packs to unplug, injectors to unplug. Yeah, it's coming along nice. No?
I would spray all those coil pack connectors.
Yeah. With a little Coil. Okay, in regards to the driver's side coil packs, I just put a little bit of lubricant. Nice idea Mike had, and you just squeeze this pin right here, and they just pull out. And they go in about 3/8 of an inch. So those are disconnected. And we've got our fuel injectors down there, 3 of them on this side. So one of the more challenging parts of the job is this bracket right here that these hoses go to. And it curves way around the valve cover on the passenger side, and there are 2 10mm nuts. And we're basically just trying to completely remove this thing to have better access. There it goes. Okay.
Underneath our heater hoses. I don't remember struggling with one of these that bad.
There's the bracket right
That's
there. There it is.
Yeah, those are the 2 nuts.
2 nuts right there. Very hard to get at because of the battery box, but it can be done, as Mike has just proven. Completely remove that bracket. Makes life easier for us. Struggle a little bit, but way more access.
Well, you need it to get access to fuel injector clip right here.
Yeah. And put some lubricant on those coil packs.